Hello and welcome to the second episode of Wandering the North. Nice to have you with us. It's all very new here still, so we're still ironing out one or two bugs, so just bear with us as we go through today. No guest, just me, but I want to tell you about something that happened to me back end of January, early February in 2018. I've been reading a book called Truth Proof, written by a guy called Paul Sinclair, and that was telling me all about strange happenings around the East Yorkshire coastline. One of the places that kept cropping up was somewhere called Bempton Cliffs. Now, that wasn't too far away from me, so it was nice to have something. I wouldn't say it was on my doorstep. It's probably 2.5 hour drive to get there from where I am. So I thought I would go down and check the place out, have a look around on the afternoon, and then maybe sit on the cliffs on the evening to see what could be seen. Or not, as the case may be. Really didn't expect to see anything. Didn't expect to see anything at all. But I did. And I was really, really surprised by that. I've got to admit, I was a little bit confused, a little bit scared. Because I was desperately trying to make sense of what I'd seen. But it was defying any sort of logical explanation in my book. So I came away from the cliff edge and went back to my car because it was really, really breezy, quite cold on the cliff tops as well. It's really surprising how the cold can really get into your bones there. And I sat in my car and I thought, well, I need to document this somehow. And I'd taken a notebook with me, but I thought the easiest way and the quickest way was to make a little video on my phone, on my mobile phone, and just record my thoughts, my experience, and hopefully I could look back on that and try and make sense of it all. Here we are, more than 2 years down the line. Still can't make any sense of it. Still can't come up with any rational, logical explanation. So I thought I would just play you the audio from that video that I made. And like I say, it was a little bit confused, a little bit unnerved, shall we say, rather than scared. So there'll be plenty of ums and ers in this audio. But I thought it might be of interest. This is literally right about 10 to 15 minutes after seeing whatever it was I saw. So enjoy the audio. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And whether you've had similar sorts of experiences where you are.
Well, something really quite bizarre has just happened. I'm at Bempton Cliffs in the East Riding of Yorkshire. There's a nice RSPB centre there. And along the top of the cliffs, there's a very well-fenced coastal path with viewing platforms built out onto the cliffs themselves, where you can look around and see the seabirds as they come into land and roost on the cliffs. And I was walking between two of these viewing platforms, because I've visited three, in the direction of the old RAF base. And I was in between the second and third platforms, round about halfway along. And I just caught something at the corner of my eye. You know how sometimes you can see something in your peripheral vision. And I turned out to look out to sea. And I saw a small, luminescent, white sphere. It definitely looked spherical to me. It certainly wasn't a seagull. It certainly wasn't any other type of seabird coming into land. And the sphere itself came down quite quickly. Where I first saw it, it couldn't have been more than 30, maybe 40 feet above the sea. It came down fairly sharpish, and within a second, it just faded out, as if someone had just switched the light off, or you know how you fed things out in videos and things like that. It was as quick as that, and it didn't make an impact with the water. There was no kickback of spray of something going into or under the water. But there was what looked like a darker patch on the surface on that particular area. Now, I took some photographs, which I'll check in a minute to see if I've got a good picture of where I think this thing was. I only wish I'd had some sort of range finder to get an accurate distance from the shore. I think it was probably about 300 or 400 yards away from the shore. There was shipping in the area. There was a couple of vessels earlier on. This was at 1644, and today is the 10th of February 2018. So that's pretty much it. I've got no proof of what I saw. I can't describe what I saw other than a luminescent white sphere that faded away quite quickly. It's not going to be anything daft like a meteor or a meteorite. It certainly didn't appear as though it made contact with the surface of the water. It just literally, it was there, and then as it moved, it just blinked off. So that's a bit of a confusing one. I'm led to believe Bempton is renowned for strange activity, but I didn't expect to see it quite so quickly after my arrival, and I certainly didn't expect to see it in daylight. So I'll be meeting up with Paul Sinclair. He's on his way at present. I think he's going to be about 15 minutes away. And I want to talk to him in more detail to see if what I've seen fits with what other people have seen. I'll let you know how we get on